In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Quant's new Fusion Layer 2.5 and how this core component is going to bring nothing but profits, I believe, to the QNT holders of this phenomenal project. Now, we're going to be talking about how when enterprise locks into this, precisely though, hospitals, something I know a little bit about as I spent close to a decade in leadership positions in hospitals, government hospitals. But I just looked at this and I said, this is not only amazing, but these are the types of shifts that you want to see, especially as an investor in a asset like QNT. This is the type of movement that you want to happen in this space, this crypto space and blockchain, but mainly for the wider public and enterprises out there, namely hospitals. So strap in, guys. This is a good one, I believe. And if you're not a believer in Quant Network yet, or an investor in the QNT token, this should make you want to do a little bit of research. But first, smash that like button, give me a sub, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss videos like this. And if you hold any amount of crypto at all on a centralized exchange, get it off. Get you a cold storage wallet. Any cold storage wallet would do, but I only deal with Tangem cold storage wallets on this channel because they're easy to use, they're lightweight, and it's the best way to safeguard your crypto. I have a 10% discount down below that is yours. That 10% does go to support this channel and all we do behind the scenes and up front. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump over here because I want to show you what this is real quick. So I was checking this out, and Gilbert Verdian, the Quant's CEO, he posted this. It says Fusion's second core component enables users to integrate their own nodes and blockchain networks into the system. What this means is users, these enterprise users, don't have to rely on someone else's server or someone else's blockchain. They can sort of like bring their own node, and it's talking about that right here. And then I'm going to explain to you how important this is. It says key features: fine-grained access control, define who sees what. This is what we're going to concentrate on right here, because this is the piece that everyone is going to be understanding a little bit better. It says, bring your own node with QNT staking incentives. Now, bringing your own node and even using this system, this is where the value comes in for us as Quant holders, because to use this, these enterprises are going to, in a sense, they're going to have to lock up Quant tokens in order to use this, which is only going to increase our value as holders. Open source connector specifications: bring your own connector for any network. And I feel like for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about nodes. We've talked about Casper nodes, and you know, there's nodes in other blockchains, but this is a way you can bring your own node, and it's kind of plug and play. As we know, the Quant's overledger system makes that easy. But this is the type of plug and play that people has been looking for. And as Gilbert Verdian said many years ago, he was talking about how this type of system that they have is going to be able to integrate with hospitals. And you know, hospitals, we wouldn't have a world if we didn't have hospitals. So that is one of the biggest enterprises that something like this is going to be able to work with. Now, so basically what this is, and I'll break it down to you. We're going to jump over here, and then we're going to take a look at the Quant's price action, because I want to break it down to you a little bit easier. So when I was working in the hospital field in leadership roles, one thing I noticed is that things wasn't really cordoned off. So what that meant is someone who works in billing could also see a patient's diagnosis and things like that. When they were going in to be looking at billing stuff, they could go in and they could see, well, you were diagnosed with this, and based on this, you know, they had free range of a patient's chart versus things that they should only be segmented to, say insurance and billing. So billing people should have to stand that. Hence, same thing with doctors. Doctors should only have to be able to see things like, and I wrote some things down. They should only be able to see things like medical history, prescriptions, labs, and whatnot. There's no reason a doctor should be able to see billing and insurance information. They shouldn't have to see that. It should be broken down into systems. So just say in a hospital alone, you have patient records, you have medical history, you have billing systems, insurance reports, pharmacy data, and then you got, being that I worked in VA hospitals, you have government reporting requirements and things like that. Well, with this fusion system, when these, say a hospital plugs into this system, they can determine who sees what. They can determine and say, well, for doctors, they can only see the things we covered: medical history, diagnosis, things like that. And billing people, they can only see the things that they're supposed to see, which is the insurance cards and things of that nature. This is what we need when it comes to things like privacy. No one wants every Tom, Dick, and Harry to know what diagnosis or their billing information or their insurance information. No one wants everyone to be able to view that type of information. So having something like this creates nothing but long-term value for things like Quant. And I love the fact that the Quant network has been working on stuff like this behind the scenes, because now we're in that digital age when, especially now, when privacy is of the utmost importance. So for a hospital to adopt something like this and say, okay, we're going to bring our own node in and we're going to plug and play with you guys. And now we have better control of who sees what. And then they have to lock up, purchase, and lock up QNT tokens. That's long-term value for us, the Quant holders. And it's something that we can understand. And it's something that we can look at and say, yeah, I could see not only hospitals needing something like this, but corporate America as well. This is how you identify assets that are on a movement. And I believe for Quant network alone, this fusion layer 2.5, this is a game changer. And let's not forget, this is something that they own the patent to. This is their stuff. It goes back to the Quant overledger. So take that, everything that I just told you, and you have a need for it now. And you jump over here, and let me cue this up because I want you guys to see something here. You jump over here and you see a price right here, $93.70 at the making of this video. Totally, without a doubt, undervalued. But let me show you the difference what 7 days make. If you go back here, $79 just on November 24th, you could have got Quant at the lowest of $79. And you look right here, you already have a $93 price tag on this. And I believe this is just the beginning of something like this. Once this whole digital age and everything comes together, and the shift is already here, but once everything comes together, you know, Quant is ISO 20022, and they just have a lock on everything. And you see the people who are already doing business with them, the larger corporations. We've talked about it in previous videos. Guys, I just believe this is another gem. And this layer, this fusion layer 2.0 is just going to blast them off into the stratosphere. And once they go up, they're not going to come back down. You guys let me know down below. What do you think? And I'd love to know what's you guys' background. Some of you do any of you have any hospital background? Because if so, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it should help you understand the Quant network and what they're doing a little bit better. And if you can understand and know what you hold, it just makes it that much more valuable. Till next one, this your boy. I'm out.
My heart rages around like an ocean.